So as you guys probably know, Trump dropped the largest non-nuclear bomb in history that's ever been, the largest, smaller than a nuclear bomb that's ever been dropped. He dropped it on, I believe it was the 12th. I believe it was on Wednesday. Let me check that just to be sure. Here, the 13th at 7:32 p.m. local time. Over at Chin, the district in the southern part of Nangarhar province, Afghanistan. The attack was carried out in the remote mountain areas with no civilian homes nearby, where they suspected or had intelligence on ISIS-K, a faction of ISIS that they're calling ISIS-K, was having activities in underground tunnels there. That there's a tunnel complex in the district where the Afghan, I don't know how to say it, Achin district of Nangarhar province, where the Afghan affiliate of the Islamic State group has been operating. So obviously they had strong intelligence. The target was close to the Pakistani border. You can see that here. That's the northern part of the nation of Pakistan. This is Afghanistan. The actual area, if you could mentally transpose this map on top of this map, it is, I believe, that this whole section here is the location, and specifically where, I'm not 100% certain, but a lot of that area is simply mountainous. It's entirely mountainous. So they were there, and they dropped one of the largest bombs ever, largest non-nuclear bomb ever that's been dropped. There's the picture of it right there. That probably the MOAB. And I'm not sure what the general sentiment is on it, and I'm not sure, who's posing what about it. I think it's sort of irrelevant at this point, the domestic sort of vibe. I know politically it doesn't matter what other people think to me, but there's political fallout or there's not political fallout. It'll wash one way or the other. But I think that the bigger picture, and I think this is in the style of Trump, I think it's, you go big, you do a big kaboom. There's really a lot of good about it, and it's hard to argue with because there's not a lot of no civilian casualties, and I think that it's almost 100% ISIL-K that they got, and I think that they got a lot of them in one position, because they're talking about hitting an underground complex of tunnels. There's a tunnel complex. So it shows that they can't hide from the U.S., even though it's underground, it's remote, and it's in, a nation that they're in a place that's largely Muslim, and you could think there would be a lot of fallout. They're sort of politically protected as well as being physically protected by being underground. And Trump goes, nope, that's not correct. You're both not physically protected because we can get you with the MOAB, and you're not politically correct because I'm doing it anyways. And I think it's a brilliant move, and I think it's how he operates. And I've listened to him enough. I know he's a smart guy, and I know that he goes for outcome. So if he wants a certain outcome, he'll pursue it and pursue it and pursue it in a way that's that makes the most sense. When he sees that it's a good idea or it's a good proposition, he's not going to back down because there's some people in certain positions saying, you know, we can't, or you can't, or etc. So that's from what I've heard of him, that's, and what I've listened to of him, that's sort of his approach. And I think that as far as this is typically him, I think it's you know, it's iconic, but I also think that it's a really good move, and I think it does exactly what he wants it to do. It'll deter other people from joining ISIS, most certainly ISIS-K, if they can't, if you know, somehow there's a lack of information getting to them and they can't see how that goes from one to the other. I think generally, though, I think that most people will get at least some part of the message enough to recognize that they're not safe, even if they're hiding underground, even if they're in you know, an area that might seem politically dangerous to engage in, that they can't isolate themselves, and they're going to get caught. They're going to get found out where they are, who they are, and I think he has a strong enough structure of allies around that will start seeing, maybe not on whatever basis they're being exposed to in the, you know, in the news, or about the domestic political climates in the West, etc., but seeing enough of his actions and what his actions actually do, and, you know, the logical and actual outcome, the results that he's getting. I think that when enough people see that, he's going to have more and more allies in areas all over the world, but particularly in people who are in positions to have say or opinion or influence over actions and over strategic support versus not support, and a lot of that goes back to political climate, which to me honestly is less relevant than seeing that the job gets done, and it gets done and has certain implications for how it is done. I think it's impressively Trump, and I think it's impressively done. That's the end of this video too.